Megan woke up in a dark, unfamiliar room. Groggy and disoriented, she moved to rub her temples and expel the tiredness from her eyes, only to find her arms fastened to the table on which she lay by some sort of chain. Confused, she tested her range. Arms, legs, chest, and head all restrained to a hard wooden surface. Remembering her voice, she let out a shrill shriek, hoping to attract help. All she heard in response was a slow, rhythmic dripping sound and the sad mellowing of some cats that seemed to be in a different room. A dark figure moved in her proverbial vision, and she left a prick in her arm and blacked out once again. She woke up sometime later with a horrible throbbing in her head, lower back, and fingertips. In her drugged-up state, she thought lazily to her, "What did I do last night? How is it even possible that my freaking fingers are sore?" Her thoughts were interrupted by a shattering sound, and she jumped, scared by whatever had caused the noise. She didn't really concentrate on where she was. She just ran through doors until she found herself in a quiet, albeit smelly alleyway. As she stopped for a breath, she collected her thoughts and said to herself, "Where am I?" It took her a few seconds to ask herself the next question. "Who am I?" She looked down to see her body. Arms, legs, chest, tail. Wait. Tail? She didn't know exactly what she was, but she knew she never used to have a tail. 3 words from her foggy past emerged from the smoke of her mind. Human, cat, and Nico. She had been a human. A Nico was a human with a few cat traits. They usually had cat ears and a tail, as well as claws every now and again. Perhaps, but how could she be a Nico? She didn't even know her own name. She had to be certain, as ridiculous as it sounds, that she wasn't one of those freakish anime-born cat people, so she reached a tentative hand to her hand and felt ears. Cat ears. She took a look at her fingertips, retractable claw sheaths. She was horrified. She was nothing but some sort of mutant, a freak accident. She didn't even know her own name. In her panic, the oxygen left her head, and she reached to her throat as she fainted. Her hand closed around a collar as she hit the ground. She came to only a few seconds later, still grasping the small metal tag hanging from the strip of leather around her neck. She unclasped the latch and took it off so she could see the small plaque, hoping it would show her a bit more of her past. Subject 0499253. Megan. Feminine. Feline genetic transfusion. Well, apparently her name was Megan, but that's all she really understood. Oh well, she was hungry. She put the collar back on her because she was probably wearing it for a reason, and started walking out of the alley toward the street. As she reached the street, a barrage of sights, sounds, and smells attacked her senses. She stood there, taking it all in for a few minutes, when she heard a voice calling to her. "Hey, you there! I'll give you 200 to come over here and show me some fun." Surely, Megan thought, this person was addressing someone else. She turned around to see the owner of the voice looking directly and purposely at her. And then she heard an instinct whisper to her consciousness. She was hungry. If she played her cards right, this man could mean food. She walked forward and stepped into the open car door, not sure what she was about to do. but positive it would get her fed. The car moved forward and pulled back into the alley she had just escaped. The man looked at her from the front seat. She was in the back, and for the first time she got a clear look at his face. He had brown hair, green eyes, and a crooked nose. Not ugly in the slightest, but by no means handsome either. Distinctively average. He crawled into the back seat and smiled at her. Unsure exactly what this man wanted of her, she simply smiled at him. She was caught off guard when she began sucking on her face, and part of her instinct told her to get away from him. She ignored the impulse, though, and listened to the instincts promising her food. They told her kiss him back for just a moment, then move to his neck and suck on that. Why she was doing this she didn't know, but she knew it would get her fed. As she moved to the nape of his neck, one of his hands wandered under her sky-colored miniskirt, and the other under the loose pink crop top. She was beginning to feel very uncomfortable, but the moment she realized how she would get food out of this experience. As if it were the most natural thing in the world, she bit down on his neck, hard, with her sharp, knife-like teeth. Were her teeth always like that? No, she didn't think so. Oh well. He stopped moving pretty quickly. How she could eat. When she finished, blood dripped from her whiskers as she tore the flesh from bone, filling her empty stomach that was something else new. Whiskers. She decided she liked them, though, and returned to her meal, exited the car, and left. She had barely made a dent in the man, and it was quite a shame, so let so much food go to waste. But she supposed someone else would come finish him. She didn't know what to do next, so she just started walking. There had to be something for her to do. After all, this was a city where a girl could turn into a cat. Anything was possible. Seriously, guys, am I reading a creepypasta or a furry erotic fanfic?